And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Look, we need to get there. So hit subscribe, watch, comment. Please keep the comments coming and share with your family and your friends, because the ridiculousness, the stupidity, it's not stopping. And just moments ago, Trump signed what's going to be known as the Genius Act. Yes, Genius, which is actually an acronym for Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins. Don't make me say that again. And recently, during, of course, press moments, Trump has been pretending that he is the stand-up comic. Today, he made a joke that the bill was actually named for him. Play the clip.
Yeah, we worked hard. It's a very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, and I want to thank you. This is a hell of an act.
Yeah, it is a hell of an act. Meanwhile, he then had a bit of a racist ramble. I'm not even sure what's going on here about Japanese businessmen. I mean, of all people, the Japanese businessmen. Play the clip.
But he spoke totally fluent Japanese. I said, that's very impressive. And he was introducing me to Mr. Honda. I said, oh, are you in the car business? He goes, yes. I said, you're a very rich man. And then he said, Mr. Toyota, right? Toyota. And I said, what business are you in? Let me guess. He said, cars. He was my interpreter. And I was so impressed. And I was getting ready to leave. He said, sir, I'd like to run for the United States Senate. I said, where are you from? He said, Tennessee. I said, well, I love Tennessee, but do they know you there? No, but if you endorse me, I'll win, right?
Again, little self-adulation there. Trump also then spoke about his trip to the Middle East. But during that statement, he claimed that he just got back. I want to remind people that this trip happened 2 months ago in May. Play the clip.
So under the Trump administration, I mean, I just got back from Saudi Arabia, and we went to Qatar. We went to a number of countries, and I will tell you the level of respect that this country has now is incredible. The UAE, I tell you what, we had a time there, but every leader said the same thing. They said 1 year ago, your country was dead. And they'd say it that way. It was like, I didn't know whether I was supposed to be happy or insulted. But the truth is, we were in deep trouble. But they said 1 year ago, your country was dead. And today you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it's true. We have the hottest country in the world. We had a country, we were a laughingstock with the borders, people pouring in.
Yeah, and because that's exactly what the UAE cares about, people pouring into our borders. If I can just sort of remind, the president and others that Qatar, who he believes is like one of the richest countries in the world, sure, because most of the money is in the hands of just a few people, their entire GDP is like 1/1000th of ours. It's like 270 billion. Ours is 27 trillion. Meanwhile, Trump also threatened tariffing BRICS nations. Again, why? Play the clip.
A framework for issuing crypto assets backed one for one with real U.S. dollars, treasury bills, and other cash equivalents is really strengthening the dollar and giving the dollar great prominence. And, you have this little group called BRICS. It's fading out fast. But BRICS is, they wanted to try and take over the dollar, the dominance of the dollar and the standard of the dollar. And I said, anybody that's in the BRICS consortium of nations, we're going to tariff you 10%. And they had a meeting the following day and almost nobody showed up. They were saying, leave me alone. They didn't want to be tariffed, did they, Howard? So it's amazing.
By the way, none of this is true. He then went on to critique Joe Biden. By the way, I find it funny. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to be laughing about it, but when Trump starts critiquing Joe Biden, I just find the whole thing to be comical, because he went on saying that Joe Biden was a dummy. Play the clip.
We didn't want to. They didn't want to be tariffed, did they, Howard? Huh? So it's amazing. No, we're not going to let the dollar slide. If we have a smart president, you're never going to let the dollar slide. If you have a dummy, that could happen. Like the last one, he would. If you ever asked him about the dollar sliding, he would have no idea. But we can't let that ever happen again.
I'm not sure that the dollar was even sliding. Now, Trump, of course, wasn't done there. Oh, no. He was just getting started. And he said Biden, this is funny, he says Biden was vicious and incompetent. And then he warned that if Biden had been vicious and competent, not incompetent, but competent, well, we would have had a real problem. Well, sounds like what people are saying about Trump. Play the clip.
Exactly 1 year ago this month, many of you were with me in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you remember that day, right? That was a big day, Nashville, Tennessee, when I became the first presidential candidate ever to address the Bitcoin conference. And at that time, crypto builders and founders were under relentless assault by the Biden administration, which was trying to crush your industry and crush you as people and go after your families. And they were a vicious group of people. You know, people don't realize it. They were vicious, incompetent, but vicious. Well, Joe was an incompetent guy, but he was always known as a vicious guy. I guess if you're going to be in that, you're probably off. If they're incompetent is better, right? Because you don't want to have a vicious guy that's competent. If you did, I wouldn't be standing here today, right? But I pledged that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. And under the Trump administration, this is only going further. You're going to do really well.
Yeah, of course, because they're in on it. Don Jr. and Witkoff's son are in on it. They're running the whole damn thing. Meanwhile, while signing the bill, Trump made a joke about the auto pen. I also want you to notice how many men in suits are standing around Trump. I mean, it seems like a skit. It's almost like something from Saturday Night Live. Play the clip.
This is not an auto pen, by the way, which is a big scandal. If that were a Republican, it would really be a big scandal. But it is one of the great scandals of our time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let us all hope, no more like pray, that this isn't going to ultimately destroy the dollar, because you're talking about crypto, which is based off of, well, nothing tangible. Meanwhile, while leaving the room, Trump seriously avoided answering any questions that had to do about Jeffrey Epstein. Play that clip.
Mr. President, why not go further than just unsealing this?
Mr. President, did you send that letter? Release the full files?
So long, right? And finally, to round up my reporting for the day, I want to show you two Truth Social posts from today. Trump posted that he was glad that Stephen Colbert's show was canceled. That's the first one. Let me show you what he said. In it, he turns around and he says, I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next, has even less talent than Colbert. Greg Gutfeld is better than all of them combined, including the moron on NBC who ruined the once great Tonight Show. Meanwhile, Greg Gutfeld, of course, Fox News, maybe one of the dumbest human beings on television. He also, then again, posted another threat about Rupert Murdoch. Let me show you what he's threatening Rupert on. I look forward to getting Rupert Murdoch to testify in my lawsuit against him and his pile of garbage newspaper, The Wall Street Journal. That will be an interesting experience. Let me be very clear. If there's something that I can turn around and warn Rupert about, Trump is going to squeeze him. He's going to squeeze him through Wall Street Journal. He's going to squeeze him through Fox News. This case will be brought to court. Trump will never testify. Rupert Murdoch probably will never even get to depositions. He's going to extract from him, as he did ABC, as he did CBS, the same that he did it to the various different law firms. He's going to squeeze him so hard that Rupert Murdoch is going to have to make a decision on how much money he wants to pay and how the apology is going to be written. Mark my words, I've been right so many times before, and I'm pretty certain that I'm going to be right again. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.